So gold backs, by the numbers, they're the most successful local currency in American history in only 4 years. So they've been out since 2019. Between 2019 and the end of 2022, we sold about $50 million worth of gold backs. Now, for 2023, we sold $6 million worth last month.
You're listening to Kerry Lutz's Financial Survival Network, where you get valuable information you just can't find anywhere else. To thrive in today's trying times, you need the Financial Survival Network, now more than ever. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and get your free newsletter and gift. Financial Survival Network, now more than ever.
And welcome. You are listening to Watching the Financial Survival Network. I'm your host, Kerry Lutz. Well, we're always looking for new innovations in the hard money, precious metal space. We've got one here for you now, and I'd like to know what your thoughts are after you hear this interview with Jeremy Cordon, and the website is goldback, goldback.com. Tell me what your thoughts are about it. The email address is kl@kerrylutz.com, and we'll forward them off to Jeremy. Jeremy, it's great to have you on the show. So briefly, tell us what goldbacks is all about.
So goldbacks are the most technologically advanced commodity money in the entire world. What we've done is we've taken an ounce of gold, we've split it into 1,000 pieces and put it in a bill-like form that's never been counterfeited, so people can use gold just like cash.
So it's somehow wrapped in a protective layer somehow. You can't just print out or create a 1,000th of an ounce piece of gold without having something around it. How does that work?
So a lot of people think a gold back is like a foil, it's coming out of some kind of roller, but it's not. It's vacuum deposition. So we've got this chamber where you've got a 50-pound sheet of gold getting hit by lasers, and it's depositing atom by atom particles of gold on a polymer. Mm-hmm. And then that gets encased with another polymer, making a gold sandwich, I guess. And these things kind of look like, Willy Wonka tickets, for lack of a better visual. And, the process being as high tech as it is, normally this technology is just used for, diabetic test strips or microchips in your phone or your car or your laptop. This is the only bullion product that uses this process for being created. And that's part of what makes it so difficult to counterfeit.
Okay. Is there like some kind of protective identification, blockchain or holograph or something on it? How do I know it's real?
So it does have 6 different security features on there. You have non-repeating patterns on the front for 5 different security features. And then the back is a perfect negative image of the front, including the serial number.
Mm-hmm. See that?
Which makes them insanely difficult to counterfeit. And, I say insanely difficult. It'd probably be too ambitious to say impossible, but nobody has ever done it, and probably because it would cost $10 million for the equipment and it'd take them, 10 years to figure out. And then you're counterfeiting something that's worth, $4.
Yeah. Yeah, but the 20th of an ounce is worth roughly $100, right?
It's worth, so the 20th of an ounce, the 50 gold bag, you can change it in for 50 of the small ones, which makes this 50 really special. And, they run closer to $200 for the 50. Mm-hmm. So that'd probably be more desirable to counterfeit. But again, where we're at with the technology, it's never happened yet. I think we're about 10 years ahead of counterfeiters, which gives us 10 years to add even more security features as we go.
All right. Well, I've got another security feature I'll talk to you about after the show that is 100% impossible to counterfeit.
I'd love to hear about it.
Yeah. The guest I had on the show, we'll talk about it afterwards. In the meantime, what does one of these things cost?
So a gold back runs about $4. That's what you can spend it for. Mm-hmm. So you're looking at, about 100% over melt. But, for going that small, 1/1000th of an ounce, it used to cost 600 or 700% over melt. So we've really gotten the process down to where it's very affordable.
All right. So so it's worth $4. Who's going to give me $4 for it?
About 50% of small business owners, and that's where people in the precious metal space tend to have a hard time with gold backs. what you got to realize is that the $100 bills in your wallet, how much gold is in those?
No, none.
None. But what do you use? Do you use gold coins or $100 bills?
Well,
I think everybody uses $100 bills, and the reason why is because they have utility. They have utility. If you know that somebody else will accept it, that's good enough. And the big surprise with gold backs is that half of small business owners want to take them as payment. Because why wouldn't they want to take a currency or a money that's never lost to inflation?
So in this case, I wouldn't call it a premium. I'd call it signorage, right? Like
it's a value.
Do, right?
Yeah, it's a value. It's a different way to think about it completely. Nobody's melting down gold backs to recover gold. That would be a very foolish way to buy gold for the melt value. But again, people are using these as money, not, as a bulk way of buying precious metals.
All right. So if I've got $1 million worth of your gold backs, which is the equivalent of $500,000 worth of their metal content, and the dollar becomes worthless, then people are going to want these things, huh?
Well, yeah, we've already seen it, So like when COVID hit, about 2 weeks in, that's when, normal people started getting really scared. I remember going to the, Costco, and there's kind of this atmosphere of fear in the air. People are buying toilet paper and everything they could get their hands on because one, they're worried they're going to have to go without, if they didn't hurry. And two, there's kind of this underlying fear that maybe the currency wouldn't keep its value, right? Maybe the dollar wouldn't buy things later. And when that happened, every single gold back that was available anywhere through any of our dealers sold out. All of them were bought up. The only place that you could buy a gold back was on eBay. You know how much they costed?
How much?
Care to guess?
I can't even imagine.
They were selling for $50 a piece.
Wow. Because
here's the thing. All that demand on $100 bills, all that demand is based off the demand for having a money that has utility and works. And when that's threatened, when the $100 bill becomes a threatened product, when people are scared that utility might not be there, they race to the next best thing. It's like, I don't think there are many people out there that are saying that a $2,000 gold coin is going to be the standard unit of money. But, if you have a $4 gold back, and you can buy your coffee with that, that's a very different value proposition. And I think that's why people were so desperate to get gold backs, because they wanted something that would actually work, fit in their wallet, and be convenient. And that's why we're seeing people come in and, they're taking these gold coins that they own for just in case, like a just in case scenario, and they're trading them for gold backs because that's a better gold to own in a just in case scenario. In fact, there's people that are using them and spending them all over the country today.
How many of these are in circulation now?
So gold backs, by the numbers, they're the most successful local currency in American history in only 4 years. So they've been out since 2019. Between 2019 and the end of 2022, we sold about $50 million worth of gold backs. Now, for 2023, we sold $6 million worth last month.
Wow.
And $6 million the month before that. So we're really seeing kind of this exponential growth in interest in gold backs as, the banks are having these issues, as the dollar looks more precarious, people are looking to, other ways to use money.
Okay. Well, this is a fascinating thing. So demand for these things is going up. And, I'm just wondering, has the government said anything to you about this? You were like infringing. I mean, it's no different than a cryptocurrency, basically, when you get down to it, other than its physical reality.
No, it's very different from a cryptocurrency. Extremely different. Okay. I'd say that they're both in a similar genre in that they're alternatives to the dollar, right? People might buy those and transact with them instead of dollars, and that way they're similar. Crypto has the advantage of being able to spend it across the country, right? I could pay somebody's, Bitcoin wallet in New York from, San Francisco. That'd be harder.
Yeah.
That'd be harder with the gold back. The gold back is a lot more like cash. It's private. So it's not logged in some blockchain to be seen by anybody forever. It's not, something that exists within a 40-digit password on a 40-digit wallet, and you can never forget either of those two numbers, or, it's gone. Yeah, I've got $30,000 in crypto that I can't access because I don't have the password.
Yeah, that's
so it's like
I got 7,000, so I'm almost there with that point.
Yeah, you're there with me.
I was so happy when it went down from 67,000 because then my loss was a lot less, you know?
Right. Yeah. You feel a little bit better about it, but you know how that is. And that's, again, gold backs, it's a lot more like cash. I hand it to somebody, they see it, they want it, and it's over. And the only people that know about the transaction are the people that we tell about it.
All right,
it's just like cash.
In 2019, what were you selling the smallest one for? How much?
$2.
So now, do you buy them back at all?
Yeah. Oh, there's a strong market. I mean, so, our best dealers for gold backs, they'll put like a 5% spread on them, which is a tighter spread than you can even get on silver.
Sure. All right. So they'll buy them back at for basically $380.
Yeah. If they sell them for $4, then they'd be buying them back from their customers for like $380.
Oh, well, that's interesting. So why is it worth double the milk value? And I use
because that
in quotes.
Sure. Because that's what people accept it for.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got, we started setting up a merchant network because we knew this would be one of the early questions with gold backs. It's like, well, who would take it? Who would actually want this as money? I was hoping that 5 to 10% of business owners would go for it. Maybe find the libertarians and the preppers that have businesses that, kind of get it and want to, accept gold as payment. What astounded us is that it was closer to 50% of business owners that were willing to take gold backs as payment. In fact, we haven't even put a ton of effort into it. We've had businesses approaching us saying, hey, we would prefer to take payment in gold backs and we'll advertise them. So in Utah, there are 6 businesses that accept gold backs for every 1 business that accepts a Bitcoin. And we've got a map and we map them out. And it's not just, the lemonade stand. It's, contractors that build houses and car dealerships and surgeons and chiropractors and grocery stores and gas stations and all the things that you can imagine. People are accepting gold backs and they have gold back acceptance stickers in their windows all over the place in Utah. As far as, but you mentioned the legal thing, legally gold backs are very different from crypto. So gold backs are a bullion product with the secondary use as a local currency, but gold backs can technically be turned in and we'll give you a gold eagle for them. So it's tied into the Uniform Commercial Code for, the states in every state. And that's important because under federal law, you can't really make your own money unless otherwise authorized by state law. So what the gold back is a series of local currencies that have a lot of barterability use in any state under state law.
So you said it comes under the Uniform Commercial Code. You're talking to a recovering attorney here. So is that because it's negotiable bearer certificate, or what is it exactly?
Yeah. So if you look at like a gift card or a coupon, a lot of them will say, hey, this has a cash value of a penny or something like that, right? They'll have that language on there. The government, they actually mint these coins that are $50 U.S. minted 1 ounce gold coins. It's the gold eagle, right? So that's what the government makes. What we say is if you have 1,000 gold backs of any denomination, that weighs an ounce. We will give you a 1 ounce gold eagle for those gold backs. And we make that promise on the gold back. It says, this gold back contains 1/20th of a troy ounce of gold, exchangeable by Goldback Inc. in U.S. gold coin to bearer on demand.
Mm-hmm.
So, in order to prohibit gold backs, you'd have to do it at the state level and you'd have to change every one of these 50 laws to outlaw gold backs. Because again, we operate off state law.
Got it.
And you'd have to change it for all the coupons and all the gift cards and all the other groups that quote unquote print their own money. It's like a gold certificate that's made out of gold itself. That's how the gold back is legally structured. And I think that's why bureaucrats don't really want to mess with it. Compared to crypto, at $50 million, $70 million worth of gold backs out there, it's too small to really be super worth their attention now. I think we might get more attention when we cross like the $1 billion or $2 billion mark. But so far it's been smooth sailing.
That's really cool. I got to say, haven't really seen anything quite like it. I've seen gold back cryptos that really haven't gone anywhere. And I've seen gold blockchain ownership that has not gone anywhere. This is kind of a first for me.
But you know what? I used to do gold blockchain. What I did before gold backs is I had a company called Quintric. We split an ounce of gold into 1,000 pieces and we tried to sell those. And what I was told at events over and over again was something along the lines of, If you don't hold it, you don't own it. It's not that I don't trust you. I don't trust the government. You're going to vault all the gold for me and give me a token saying I own a piece of it. I don't trust that if you hit a certain size, the government won't roll through your vault wall with the tank, seize all the gold, and make my tokens worthless. I don't trust the government. If I don't hold it, then it's not mine. So, in doing gold backs, you hold this. It's yours. It's in your wallet. All the gold is with you, and you can transact with it and spend it, and people are inclined to take it. People tend to want gold backs. Even people that aren't familiar with gold and have never owned gold before, 75% of gold back owners have never owned gold before. We've added 750,000 people to the gold market in just the past few years. And although most of those people are young, they're between the ages of 20 and 40. We're educating an entire generation on sound money as we go with gold backs.
That's interesting that you're getting the younger crowd in. Have you tried this in any other countries? Are they available anywhere else but the U.S.?
So gold backs have been sold on every continent that I know of except for Antarctica.
Maybe I'll be.
Now we're starting to see dealers in Australia and in Europe, starting to carry gold backs. Our biggest problem is manufacturing. It's a very high-tech process, and while that protects people that own gold backs, it makes it difficult to make enough of them. The reason why you probably haven't seen gold backs, or why some of your listeners haven't seen gold backs, is because we have not spent the money marketing gold backs. I want to say that we've spent under $100,000 marketing gold backs over the last 5 years. And the reason why is people show each other, they're really excited about it, and it's hard to keep them in stock as it is.
All right. Well, you got a product that people want, and they're willing to pay double what its intrinsic value is, which is fascinating.
Well, if I were to make a one gold back, it costs so much money to make this thing that it's actually manufactured at a loss.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to figure as soon as you mint a 1 ounce gold coin, that costs $50 to $100 per unit. You go down to a 10th ounce coin, it's costing you about $40 in manufacturing per unit. We got the manufacturing down on a gold back to about $1, and it's serialized. So we're really proud of those costs, but it's not like we're profiting 100% on this. We can't make these things for free. It's an expensive process.
Okay. I can appreciate that. And so you're selling it for $4. It costs you effectively $3 to make when you add in your cost and the metal cost. So it's a
little higher than $3. I might be most quoted at $1, but it's a little over $1.
Okay, a little more than $1. Oh, I find it intriguing. So obviously you like when people buy the bigger ones, more profit in the bigger ones, because I assume that a 50 costs as much to make as a 2. Am I right?
No, not at all. Because you have to have 50 times as much time in the vacuum deposition machine. Most of the cost is that time in the machine. It's not the actual lamination or the cutting. Those are all done, through a machine process. But the difference might be if we made, a 4% margin on the one, maybe our margin's 10% on the 50. So you're right. It is more profitable to do 50s, but again, it's not like
it's not 50 times.
It's not as rich as you think. If it was, I'd probably have a nicer car.
25 times the cost, obviously, to do it, but there is a higher cost involved. Well, I find this fascinating. I'm going to check more into it for sure, and I'll have you back on. Hey, tell us how we connect with you, where we find gold backs, and how we buy them.
Sure. Yeah. Gold backs, they're sold by all the big metals dealers now. We're a wholesaler. So, JM Bullion, Atmex, Money Metals. You can go to goldback.com and see a whole list of businesses that sell gold backs. There's about 100 different retailers that sell gold backs now. And then, several hundred coin stores. You're probably going to get a better deal online. So you can see kind of the different things that are offered by, different retailers.
Sure.
But yeah, goldback.com. That's a good place to learn more.
All right. Hey, if you got a question for Jeremy or myself, again, email address kl@kerrylutz.com. We'll get you an answer. There'll be a link to Goldback in the show notes of this interview on financialsurvivalnetwork.com. Make sure you sign up for your free newsletter while you're there. Jeremy, really interesting concept, and we wish you the best.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening to Kerry Lutz's Financial Survival Network, your solution to today's trying times. For the latest, go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com. Financial Survival Network, now more than ever.